Friends, listen to this story slowly and with an open heart, because this is not just a simple tale. It is a story about life, pain, hope, and the quiet power that lives inside every human being. Once, in a quiet little village, there lived an old woman. The village was small, with narrow paths, simple houses, and trees that whispered when the wind passed through them. Everyone in the village knew the old woman, not because she was rich, not because she was powerful, but because of her kind heart and her gentle smile. No matter the time of day, she always looked calm. On bright mornings, when the sun filled the village with light, she sat outside her house, smiling softly. On stormy days, when clouds covered the sky and rain fell heavily, she still looked peaceful. Her face carried a quiet strength, as if she had learned something about life that others had not yet understood. People often came to her house. Some came with heavy hearts. Some came with confusion. Some came with anger or fear. They shared their worries, their sadness, and their problems. The old woman listened carefully. She never rushed them. She never judged them. Her words were few, but when she spoke, her words felt warm, like a soft blanket on a cold night. One afternoon, when the sun was low and the air felt still, a young woman came to visit her. The young woman looked tired. Her eyes were red, and it was clear she had been crying for many nights. She walked slowly, as if her heart was heavier than her body. She sat beside the old woman and stayed quiet for a moment. Then she spoke in a soft voice. "Grandmother, how are you always happy? No matter what happens, you never look sad. Don't you ever feel pain when things go wrong?" The old woman smiled gently. She stood up slowly and poured the young woman a cup of warm tea. The steam rose quietly, filling the space between them. She handed the cup to the young woman and said, "My dear, happiness does not come from what happens around us. It comes from what we carry inside." The young woman frowned slightly. She shook her head. "I don't understand," she said. "When bad things happen, how can anyone stay happy?" The old woman turned her eyes toward a small oil lamp beside her. Its flame was small but steady. It danced gently as the breeze moved through the room. The old woman looked at it for a long moment and then spoke softly. "Let me tell you something," she said. "When I was young, I had a husband and children. We were poor, but we were happy. Our house was small, the roof leaked during heavy rain, and our clothes were simple. But our home was full of laughter. We shared meals, stories, and dreams. Love lived in every corner of that house." She paused, her eyes shining with memories. "One day, my husband became sick. At first, we thought it was nothing serious. But days passed and his health became worse. We tried everything we could. We used home remedies. We prayed, but we had no money for proper treatment." Her voice grew quieter. Slowly, his strength left him. And one day, he left this world. The young woman held her breath as she listened. The old woman continued. "When he died, I felt like the ground had disappeared under my feet. I cried for many days and nights. I felt empty. I felt lost. I thought there was no light left in my life. I believed happiness had left me forever." Tears filled the young woman's eyes, but she stayed silent. After some time, the old woman said, "I realized something important. Crying would not bring him back. My pain was real, but my life was not over. My children were still there. They needed me. They needed my strength, my love, my courage." She took a deep breath. So I wiped my tears. I stood up again, slowly. Day by day, I chose to live. The young woman leaned closer. I began to understand that life always gives us both good and bad days. We cannot stop the storms. They will come, whether we like it or not. But we can choose how we stand when the storm arrives. She gently touched the oil lamp. Every morning, she said, I light this flame, and I tell myself, this is a new day. I promise myself to find at least one reason to smile. She smiled again. Some days, that reason is very small. Maybe it's the sunlight entering my window. Maybe it's the sound of birds singing. Maybe it's a kind word from a neighbor. But there is always something good if we choose to look for it. The young woman stayed quiet, thinking deeply. Then she asked softly, but what if something truly bad happens again? How can someone still stay happy then? The old woman nodded slowly. It's not easy, she said gently. When pain comes, we feel it, and that is okay. We are human, but I remind myself that nothing lasts forever. Good times pass. Bad times also pass. She continued. When something painful happens, I look at what I still have. My breath, my memories, my friends, my ability to smile again. Even being alive is a gift. She looked into the young woman's eyes. Happiness is a choice, my dear. We can look at darkness and feel hopeless, or we can look at light and feel thankful. The young woman looked again at the oil lamp. Its flame flickered, but it did not go out. Something changed in her heart at that moment. She smiled softly and whispered, "Thank you. I think I understand now." That night, when the young woman returned home, she felt lighter. Her problems were still there, but her heart felt different. In her room, she found a small oil lamp. She lit it carefully and whispered the same words she had heard earlier. This is a new day. I will find one reason to smile. At first, the reasons were small. The morning breeze on her face, the laughter of children outside, the smell of fresh bread from a nearby house. But slowly, her heart began to change. Even when life felt heavy, she remembered the old woman's words. She remembered the flame that never went out. As days passed, people in the village noticed the change in her. She walked with calm. She spoke with kindness. She smiled often. People began to ask her, "How do you stay so peaceful?" She would smile, just like the old woman once did, and say, "Happiness does not come from the world around us. It begins inside our hearts." And slowly, quietly, a small flame of peace spread through the village. All because one old woman had kept her lamp burning and her heart full of light.